Getty Images, Brad Pitt is not planning to use an alleged child predator against Angelina Jolie in their ongoing custody case, despite reports. Gossip Cop can bust them. The claims are convoluted, far-fetched, missing key information and largely untrue. In 2014, Jolie, a special envoy to the United Nations, helped organize a UN summit on sexual violence. Among the participants was Joel Davis, a Columbia University student who presented himself as an activist. He is accused of engaging in criminal behavior in May and June. 4 years later, Davis was arrested last month for child sex crimes. A UN spokesperson said in a statement that the organization is shocked and appalled by the allegations of child sexual abuse. Now sister publications Radar Online and the National Enquirer are peddling identical articles contending Pitt wants to use Jolie's old connection to this accused child predator in a quest to strip her of custody. It's alleged he hit the roof over fears she may have exposed their kids to Davis, and both outlets quote the same so-called insider as saying, "To think that Angie has been associating with a guy like this was enough to make Brad pick up the phone to his lawyers." It's further claimed that unnamed friends are urging him to really play this up as part of his bid for full custody. But the purported source indicates he or she doesn't have first-hand knowledge of what's going on when asserting, "Brad must be having sleepless nights." If this unidentifiable insider was truly close to Pitt, he or she would know for sure whether he is or isn't having sleepless nights, and not make an assumption on what must be going on. And while the website and the tabloid maintain the link between Jolie and Davis could help Brad win control of their children, no evidence is presented that they have any association besides being at that one UN summit that took place in 2014. There is also no proof that their kids were exposed to Davis at any time. And given that the United Nations was unaware of his alleged behavior, as were other organizations he worked with like TEDx and the Huffington Post, it is illogical to suggest Jolie herself had any knowledge of what was going on and should be held in any way responsible. It's unfathomable that a judge would take custody away from the actress because someone she crossed paths with at a humanitarian event 4 years ago was later arrested, despite how horrific the alleged crimes may be. Additionally, both reports fail to acknowledge that Pitt was with Jolie at the particular global summit in question, see photo above. Furthermore, per Jolie and Pitt's summer custody agreement, the estranged spouses are due back in court on August 13. Arguably, then, he's just as connected to Davis as she is. If he was so concerned about Jolie's lone tie to Davis, which he shares as well, and is worried about the well-being of their kids while in her care, he and his lawyers could have called for an emergency hearing. That has not happened. A Pitt confidant confirms to Gossip Cop on background this storyline is BS, and it should also be noted that both the magazine and the blog have a history of manufacturing unsubstantiated narratives about the exes using this or that against the other. Earlier this month, for example, the two publications ran identical tales about Jolie using an alleged dirt diary against Pitt in order to get full custody. In those pieces, the non-existent journal was said to be her trump card. The same exact phrase is now used in these news stories about Pitt supposedly taking action against her. And the articles make no mention of Jolie allegedly having a trump card of her own, as previously claimed just 2 weeks ago. This is indicative of the way the Enquirer and Radar Online favor sensationalism and salaciousness over accuracy and consistency.